The internet just exploded. Gene Deal, Mase, and Cam'ron, three names you never thought would be in a full-blown war, are now at the center of hip-hop's most uncomfortable moment this year. What started as jokes on a podcast turned into threats. What felt like entertainment became dangerously real. And at the heart of it all, the murder of the Notorious B.I.G., a night that still haunts everyone who was there. This is the story of how a few reckless jokes triggered a warning so serious it sent shockwaves through the entire culture. Let's break it down. It all kicked off when Mase and Cam'ron were doing what they do best, talking wild on their show, cracking jokes, throwing shots, keeping it entertaining. But this time, they crossed a line nobody saw coming. They started joking about the night Biggie was murdered. And not just the night, they took direct shots at Gene Deal, Biggie's close friend and bodyguard, for not shooting back that night.
These clowns out here was gonna go out there and make videos.
I just wanna go home. I just wanna be home.
Mase, say names.
Yeah, security crying behind the car.
Damn.
People look at me as being bad boy security.
Yeah, this blanket. You're like, what?
Oh, Gene Deal was crying for the blanket. Gene Deal was this, that, and the Gene Deal was this, that, and the third.
But he there for security.
What you think I'm gonna be doing when you doing all that to Gene Deal? I bet you really don't wanna know.
To them, it probably sounded like edgy podcast banter. To the rest of us, it felt reckless, disrespectful, and completely out of bounds. Because Gene Deal isn't just some name in hip-hop folklore. Gene was there. He lived that nightmare. He survived it. And he's carried that weight for almost 30 years.
You wanna say something, Mase? Tell us why you didn't go. Mase, why you didn't go to the party? Mase, why you didn't go to the party?
Because I was in a hotel with Brandy.
Why you didn't go? Brandy told you, you told me that Brandy told you, let's go to the party. Why you didn't go to the party?
I didn't go to the party because all y'all seem like snakes. And I'm not going to
So Mase, who told you? Mase, didn't I tell you? Listen to him, Mase. Did I tell? Let's keep it 100. When you was riding around,
Let me answer.
Go ahead.
Let me answer the question. You guys was the security. If somebody shot the biggest rapper in the world, why y'all didn't shoot back? Y'all had guns?
Mase, let me ask you something. I'm gonna get to that. Mase, one question. When you was riding around Cali with Stevie J, didn't I pull you to the side and say, what the fuck is you doing in a drop top Benz riding around with Stevie J around Cali? Did I say that to you? Did I say that to you, Mase?
Mase kept pressing, asking why Gene didn't shoot, why security didn't react, making it sound like Gene somehow failed that night. But here's what Mase didn't mention in those jokes. While Gene was out there protecting Biggie, Mase was in a hotel room. By his own admission, he wasn't at the party. He wasn't in harm's way. He was safe.
I was actually in a hotel with a young lady.
And when you heard this information, what was your next actions?
My next actions? After what?
When you heard Biggie died, did you stay in your hotel room? Did you leave out? Did you want to go back to New York?
I actually was trapped in a hotel.
Now I want to ask the question. What do you mean trapped?
It was about probably like 70 or so bloods in the hallway. I couldn't even leave my room.
How'd you get out?
One of the guys.
Why would it be 70 bloods in your hallway after Biggie Smalls died?
Actually, after Big got killed, they was probably looking for more bad boy artists. And I couldn't even leave the room till Gene Deal, the officer had to come get me.
Mase claims he was trapped in his hotel room because 70 Bloods were in the hallway, allegedly hunting for bad boy artists after Biggie's death. But here's the problem with that story. It doesn't add up with the timeline. And more importantly, it raises a bigger question. If Mase was so worried about danger that night, why is he now making jokes about the people who actually faced it? Gene Deal wasn't hiding. He was in the car. He was there when the shots rang out. He tried to react, but the driver panicked and sped off. So when Mase started cracking jokes, Gene wasn't laughing. When those clips went viral, it didn't take long for people to start tagging Gene, sending him the footage, waiting to see how he'd react. And trust me, Gene did not laugh it off.
Who went out there and they started running off by their mouth, trying to make airways and trying to make a show. Here go a grown-ass man, Mase and Cam'ron, made suggestions to bad boy security. These clowns out here was gonna go out there and make videos. When you do stuff like that, you gotta know right now that people look at me as being bad boy security. You gotta be clear. As soon as that drop, you got 5 or 6 out there. Oh, Gene Deal was crying for the blanket. Gene Deal was this, that, and the Gene Deal was this, that, and the third.
Gene came back with a message that immediately shifted the energy. No jokes, no smiles, just straight, unfiltered intensity. He made it crystal clear. His name is not to be played with, especially when it's tied to the worst night of his life. Gene warned Mase directly, stand on your words if you really meant what you said, because actions have consequences.
You already know, Mase. When you doing all that stuff to Gene Deal, what do Gene Deal supposed to be doing while you doing all that? I bet you really don't want to know. What you think I'm going to be doing when you doing all that to Gene Deal? They can play if they want to, but if they know what I know, they better find somebody else to play with. I never had to tell Big them Keep it a buck. I never had to tell Big them I told Big to his face, if you go to this party tonight, one of y'all gonna die. Some people gonna die if you go to this party tonight.
That line right there, I bet you really don't want to know what I'm going to be doing when you're doing all that to Gene Deal. That wasn't internet talk. That was a real warning, and it sent chills through everyone watching. Gene even revealed something most people didn't know. He warned Biggie not to go to that party. He told him to his face, if you go tonight, somebody's going to die. Biggie went anyway, and the rest is history. Gene didn't stop there. He broke down exactly what happened that night, in detail.
Trying to divert that whole conversation and make it seem like, so Gene, why you didn't shoot? Listen to me. It wasn't because Big wasn't my principal. He knew the fact that we had blew the light and we was halfway down the block, crossed the light, and then when the first shot went off, our driver took straight off. I'm screaming at our driver because he was told that somebody was pointing a gun at Big them. He should have just threw the car in reverse. He knew the whole story, my man, because me and him had a conversation on the phone. He the one told me, well, I was in the room with Brandy and Brandy was trying to get me out the room to come to the party. So I felt that was kind of weird. So she said Brandy was calling me trying to get me out the room to come to the party. Well, you was in the room with Brandy. How's she calling you to try to get you out the room to come to the party? You know what I'm saying? This was going through my mind. But Mase knew the whole situation. Mase knew that it's no way possible that I was able, being sideways in the car, because Puff, when I got in the car, Puff had put his seat back. Now I'm sideways in the car like this, and I'm cussing him out like, yo, man, what the f is you doing? Why you got your seat back like this? We hear the shot, pow! Puff put his head down. I go to open the door. Kenny flies, going straight. So he knew the whole story. What I supposed to do? Put my gun out the window and just start shooting like this? When the car had already turned the corner, it came out of parking space. So he knew the story, bruh. He was trying to just divert the attention of, well, why security? So ask security, ask Big security, ask Paul, ask the LAPD. The LAPD officer that was right there, they was right behind. Paul was outside the car. Why didn't they shoot? Why when we turn back around and come down the street, that they way down the block, they coming back when we get back to the car. When we get back to the car, nobody's in Big's car. But Big, Mase knew this. Me and Mase had this conversation. Him and Tone is like this. He knew me and Tone jumped in the car and chased after the guy. We couldn't catch him. He wanted to divert the attention from himself because why didn't you tell Big that these dudes was trying to get at you, bruh? You had that conversation with with Puff, but you ain't had that conversation with Big. Big was your label mate. So people come on to him, why you ain't shoot? Listen to me, bro. At that time, I was young, dumb, and full of cum. Anybody who really knows me know that they ain't gotta worry about nothing if it comes to the point where gunplay has to be a part of my security. I'm not gonna hesitate, because I never bodyguard anybody that I wasn't willing to lay down my life.
Gene explained how the car was positioned, how Puff had his seat reclined, how Gene was sitting sideways, unable to even reach for his weapon in time, how their driver panicked and sped off the moment the first shot was fired. He also called out Mase for trying to divert attention from the real issue. Why didn't Mase warn Biggie about the threats he knew were out there? Because, according to Gene, Mase had conversations with Puff about people trying to get at him, but he never told Biggie. So for Mase to now sit on a podcast and joke about Gene's reaction that night, Gene saw that as cowardly, hypocritical, and deeply disrespectful. And Gene made one thing clear: he's never bodyguarded anyone he wasn't willing to die for. This isn't just internet beef. This isn't a rap battle. This is about honor, trauma, and a murder that still has no justice. The hip-hop community immediately split into sides.
Just can't tell me nothing.
And the second top artist in the world, which is Mase, about to be number one. That's what I'm saying. I wonder his face, because I'm like, if y'all let him do that to Big, I don't stand it.
Everybody trying to go viral. Everybody trying to go viral. Everybody trying to go viral out here.
Some said Gene had every right to be angry. The jokes about that night were tasteless no matter who made them. Others felt Mase and Cam were just doing what they always do, talking reckless without malicious intent. But here's the thing: intent doesn't erase impact. And what made this even more uncomfortable? The timing. Hip-hop is already in a sensitive place when it comes to legacy, respect, and accountability. People are re-examining old stories, old jokes, old behaviors. So when a moment like this happens, it doesn't just blow over. It triggers something deeper. Gene's warning tapped into a bigger conversation. Who gets to joke about what, and at what cost? Right now, nobody knows how this ends. Will Mase respond directly? Will Cam'ron jump back in? Or will this quietly cool down before it turns into something even uglier? One thing is certain: Gene Deal made it known that he's not the one to play with, especially when it comes to Biggie's name. This whole situation is a reminder that hip-hop history isn't just stories and sound bites. It's real lives, real loss, real scars. And when those scars get poked for laughs, somebody is bound to react. The internet might love drama, but this crossed from viral moment into dangerous territory. What do you think? Was Mase out of line, or was Gene overreacting? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Like this video if you want more breakdowns like this, and subscribe because this story, it's far from over. I'm out.